Hi there. Welcome back. This is Spiritual Psychic Cynthia Killian again, also known as Psychic Cynthia. And welcome back to your Level 1 Awakening Your Inner Psychic class video course series. And today we're going to actually finish up on the intro to the chakra system as part of your Awakening Your Inner Psychic. We're moving into the crown. And notice that I did not touch my head here, but that I'm pointing a couple inches up. I do believe, in my experience, that on most people, the crown might be a couple of inches above the top of the head, but it could be sitting right on top of the head too, just somewhere in this vicinity. And in some traditions, the crown is known as the master chakra. The master chakra. And the idea is that if you open the crown and get it balanced and strong, that all of the other chakras will also be opened and awakened. Personally, I think it's important to open and work with all the chakras and not just one or the other. But I'm sharing that with you so you understand that there is great importance with the crown. And out of all the chakras, this is the most cosmic of the chakras. This is the closest link you have to that divine portal, to divine consciousness. This is where we connect up into the higher realms. This is the doorway into the fourth dimensional chakra system. Do you know there are other chakra systems on top of the chakra systems in finer levels, okay? And you don't need to worry about all that for today. You may never need to worry about that, by the way, to be a psychic. That's just something, if you get interested in the chakra system and want to study later more, you can. But for today, understand that this is a very higher consciousness chakra. And you can walk through the doorway of the crown into other worlds. Really, it's like this is the one of the main channeling chakras. Actually, the heart and above are all very much involved in channeling, if that's a process of interest to you. If you want to basically get possessed with higher level spirits, as I call it. I know a lot of times when you say it that way, people say, oh, it's not possession. Well, it is of a kind. It's a divine possession. It's if you interpret it in the way that, well, you're loaning your body, okay? You don't have to do that, though, to work in these upper chakras. But it's kind of popular nowadays at the time of making these videos. So, and I've done a bit of channeling, and I can channel. You know, that's, I think, when you learn to trust yourself as a psychic, and as you start to develop a relationship with higher level ascended masters and teachers, and you will if you stay on this path, okay? It's not like it's just one or two people that can do it. If you stay on it and get grounded and keep opening and developing, eventually, you know, you'll have a little bit of light channeling, even if you don't try to. You'll have some merging. And that's what this upper chakra system is all about, by the way. It's about merging with the divine. You know, it's not about you or your destiny only, okay? It's really about living a life of service. And it is related to your destiny, but it's your higher destiny. And really, when you get into the crown, this is the king or the queen of that higher destiny, because this is where, as we open this crown chakra, this is where we enter the holy heart of spirit. We enter the doorway to the divine. We become divine-like ourselves, including expressing divine love. And then you stop thinking about things just like what you want to do, or what you think you ought to do, or what you would enjoy doing, and you start to feel called by the divine to serve, to be of service. That becomes your passion. So I want you to think about the root chakra. You know, that's down at the base of your spine. We started there. And then your crown chakra, I want you to think of them as being mirrors of each other, in the sense that the crown, the crown, okay, it's up here, right? But your root, down at the base of your spine, your root is your personal, survival. and your concerns about that and your personal life force. And it's the beginning of the lower chakra system, which is all about, your ego self and your own passions, your own desires, what you want. And then the crown is the counterpoint of that, which is what the divine wants to create through you. Do you get the difference? It's a very different feeling. And whereas the root chakra energy, it's very low, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, it's just more dense, okay? So it's a very dense energy, very slow vibrating. The crown chakra is fast, instantaneous. It vibrates on a level beyond anything we can really speak about or conceive of physically. You have to enter into a different kind of consciousness to really understand the crown chakra. So make sure, if you're working on this crown chakra with me today, please make sure that you have watched the other videos about the lower chakras first, and make sure that you've done some work getting grounded in those lower chakras first before you go on out here and try to open up this crown chakra. Because if you're not grounded at least a little bit before you start opening this up, well, let me just put it this way, problems can ensue. And I won't go into all of those, but well, let me just ask you this. Have you ever known anybody who claimed to be really psychic or really spiritual, working in the light or whatever, or they're real psychic, and they claim to be hearing the voice of God or the angels or whatever, okay? But you're just thinking this person is crazy, okay? Like, you don't know what they're talking about, but you can't trust it because they seem so out there and ungrounded, and they're just fruitcakes, okay? I don't know how to say it other than that. Have you ever known anybody like that? I've known a few, okay? I'm not saying it's the majority of psychic people. I'm not even saying these people are really psychic. I don't know. Are they psychic or are they delusional? Or both, maybe. I don't know, but that's what happens when you're not grounded enough. There can be a very fine line sometimes between, somebody who's schizophrenic and can't stay anchored in reality, and somebody who is psychic and can hear voices, yet know also how to be in this physical reality. So you want to be the latter person. You want to be the one who, it's a shamanic path. We are shamans. We walk between the worlds, right? And you have to be able to open to these higher consciousness of the guides and of God itself. Okay, this is the God chakra. And by the way, if you don't like that word God, if that triggers some issues for you, well, first of all, get over it. If you're going to be a psychic, you can't be getting triggered by a little word, especially if you're going to read for others. You've got to grow up, okay? You've got to mature. Actually, what you've got to do is heal, dear one, because if you're getting triggered by a little word, then that's the unhealed part of yourself getting triggered. People who are healed and balanced don't let one little word offset their whole reality, okay? You might not like a word, and there's certain words I don't like, whatever, but they don't have power over me because I'm healed and congruent. So pay attention. If you don't like that word God, there's something you need to heal, probably around your religious upbringing. But, I'm okay with it if you want to use a different word. I really like the word divine or source or goddess. Goddess is one of my favorite words for the divine, the feminine, the divine feminine. Cosmic consciousness, the universal spirit. There are so many names and so many languages for this divine consciousness, but this is a higher consciousness, an intelligent being, or actually, as we get into understanding it more in depth, the intelligent beings. This is where the ascended masters really are coming through, and where your higher self. So even if you're not comfortable with the word God, I hope you can be comfortable with the idea of your higher self. That's the wise, evolved, healed, and matured part of you. And that part is always there, no matter what crap you're dealing with right now, and no matter where you're at on this path. And if you're thinking, oh God, I have so much to heal and so much to learn, and this part of my life's messed up and how am I going to fix it? Well, don't worry about it. Your higher self has a plan. Your soul has a plan. What your part is, a few parts, is to work on your own healing. And I'm really talking emotionally, yes, work on it physically if that's an issue. But most people who get into physical problems got there because of the spiritual and the emotional first. So get back to the source, look at what you need to heal and release and let go of and come to peace with, come to acceptance with. Maybe there's some relationships in your life you need to move on past, or some habits, like I mentioned earlier, maybe you're saying yes when you mean no, or maybe there's a person in your life who terrorizes you. I think we all have somebody like that actually at some point in our lives, and we have to learn how to deal with that with dignity and grace, and we have to learn how to put our foot down, but then to do it in a loving way. We don't want to turn into an asshole trying to get somebody to not treat us like an asshole. Okay? Remember that, okay? That will help you. So that's your part. And also just meditating on these chakras, just do your path. And your higher self will start coming through more clearly to you. And your higher self has that plan. Your ego mind is never going to be able to figure out the plan. I always had a sense, since I was a small child, that I was called to the spiritual path. I knew that was my destiny. Since I was 5 years old, really. I knew that. But I didn't know all the details. I didn't know I'd be making videos. I didn't know that I'd be teaching these classes or doing the certification, or that I would have been on television for 7 or 8 years, or doing radio. I didn't know any of that, okay? And Spirit fills in those details of your destiny, your service, as you go along. Your job is to grow and to evolve. And in regards to this class, your job is to strengthen your psychic ability, to awaken your inner psychic. So you're growing that relationship. Remember, you're growing your relationship with your inner psychic. Now, here in the crown consciousness, you want to meditate on violet, the color purple, which I'm not really wearing much of. I got a little bit, it's not very visible. So you want to wear purple, or especially visualize, meditate on the crown. And you can massage the top of your head just real gently. I'm barely touching it. It's a very light touch. I find that the lightest of touches on the head is what's going to best stimulate your crown chakra. Now, some people do like to do tapping. That's fine if you like to do that. I would go very light, because this is the least physical of all the chakras. And in fact, even more effective is to take your fingertips and wiggle them and move them. Can you feel that energy when I do that? I bet you can feel that energy emanating off my own crown chakra. Now, I alluded to it earlier in the intro video to the upper chakra system, that some people like to, advanced practitioners will try to pull that crown chakra down deeper into the body with the breath. And I might take several times, by the way. What I really like to do in terms of my psychic practice, I go the opposite. So I do have it anchored in my body, but then I imagine it like it's anchored with a purple jewel, like an amethyst jewel, and I actually anchor the crown into my third eye. I know it sounds weird, but I sort of merge them. And then I blow it up and expand it out in all directions. And I use that crown to create a ball of light around me, a pulsating light, a magnetic light. I want to attract miracles. I want the ascended masters to see me. I want them to know that I am available for service, that I am here working for the path of light. And if there's something I can do to advance that, then I'm here, I'm listening, I'm open, I'm receptive. Those are great affirmations, by the way, for the crown. I'm willing, I'm here, I'm open, I'm listening, I'm willing to serve. I'm willing to be a channel for divine light in the world. I'm willing to be a channel for divine love in the world. And do keep in mind, to be a channel just means that you'll be a server, a world server, right? You're a part of the plan. To attune with God to awaken your godlike qualities, your divinity, is not the same as saying that you are God. And I do want to clarify this here because it's a mistaken notion. I see many baby psychics and many baby spiritual people kind of fall into a trap where they start to become delusional and think that they are God in a way. Because, I mean, it's not like they say, I am God, but they start to think that whatever they say or whatever they think is, quote unquote, the gospel truth, and it's the only way. And, you know, there's sort of a martyrdom complex that can come with this. And to me, that's a sign of maybe a overactive crown chakra, or I would call it like a flared crown chakra. It's like a crown chakra tainted with ego. Okay. So, yeah, just know that, you know, you play a valuable part, and that if you're open and you start to open this chakra, you will receive marching orders. You will have a destiny. You will have a special mission that you do, and you will be special, just like everybody else on this path, dear one. And, you know, I say that as somebody who is living my path. I mean, I'm just one person. I'm not any more special than anybody else who's special, okay? So just always keep that in mind. Keep a humility. You know what you're saying, and this is the place of I know awareness. Like, in other words, when you get messages through here, you'll feel it, and you'll just know in your heart, you'll just feel that it's true beyond true. But don't try to, like, pound somebody else over the head with that. Okay, I probably said too much on that because that's actually getting into the art of reading. But hey, you'll probably get there eventually, right? So, you know, these truths are given to you in this energy to inspire you, to move you, to live your higher destiny, to be on a path of service. They're not given to you to inflict upon other people. Does that make sense? So, you know, really, if you want to inspire others through your higher chakra energy, if you want to serve, if you want to help them, to lead them, the best way you can do that is by being the best version of you and by inspiring them with your actions. I mean, words are powerful in a creative sense, but what speaks even more strongly in terms of communicating with others, you know, on a more primal level, is your actual actions. So show people that you love, show people that you care, and if you feel you're getting wisdom through, live that wisdom in your life. You know, this is the difference in the crown chakra. We can know about something, or we can know it. Like, there's many people out there that kind of know about psychic ability or awakening your inner psychic, but there's very few that actually know it. So, you know, as you're seeking on your path, you want to be with a teacher who knows it, who's lived it, in other words. And that's who you want to become, too. That's who you are becoming, whatever path you're on, whether it's a psychic path or some other path. So know that you're coming into your higher knowing, which is, in this sense, equated with a realization that causes you to live differently. That's how you're going to start knowing you're tapping into the crown consciousness. And listen, if you don't get this right away, that's okay, because it's the last one in the sequence for a reason. It's one of the most difficult to master. But you can do it, and just keep working on it as you go along on your path, and it will open. One last thing that I'd like to say about really all of these chakras, but especially the crown. If you will practice imagining that you're breathing in and out of the chakra, and you notice I automatically put my hands on there. It's just easier to do it when you touch it, okay? Please touch it for a moment, closing your eyes, and let's just do it. 3 or 4 deep breaths, breathing in and out of your crown chakra, the top of your head, okay? Get that chin up a little. Nice straight posture. There you go. So that's another very powerful technique, breathing in and out of the chakra, especially the crown. That works very well for the crown. Breath is life, breath is prana, breath is energy. So if you'll move that in and out, move the breath in and out of the crown, you will awaken that cosmic connection. You'll start to bring your higher self down closer into your earthly awareness. This is so good if you want to do readings for yourself with your higher self. In other words, you want to ask your higher self, you want to channel that guidance through. Or if you want to communicate with another person's higher self through your higher self, you just want to do higher self readings or be guided by that, this is so good for that. Another sort of, little weird thing that I like to do for stimulating my crown chakra is to rub my head with a few drops, just sprinkle it right on there. I don't have any right now because it's too bright out. But I could drop some flower essences on there. Or if you don't have flower essences, you can do certain essential oils, just whichever ones you like. I mean, I could get into the details, but that's not important right now. So let's say you have some lavender or some peppermint, preferably something you're not allergic to and something that does not sting your skin. Peppermint will give you a nice little refreshing buzz up there, so don't overdo it. Just a few drops, or maybe eucalyptus or rosemary, whatever you like. And you drop it down in there and just rub it, anoint it, and think while you're doing this that you are blessing yourself and blessing your entire chakra system. Try it. You'll see. It's very powerful. Alrighty. We've gone through the whole chakra system. And you'll need to work a little in the crown and just keep working in it. Work in the violet energy, the violet flame. Remember, in these last two chakras with the colors of dark blue and purple or violet, you don't want to meditate on those colors any more than 7 days consecutively, in my opinion. On the 7th day, you'll want to add in another color at least, or maybe you can tone it down. Instead of violet, you can see a lavender. So add in some of the white energy. Because these are very cosmic energies and they need to be taken in gradually. You understand? Because they're going to speed up your vibration. And you can speed up your vibration too quickly. You're living in this dense physical body, and especially if you're just now awakening, if you've really just started on your journey, or let's say you've been on your journey, but you kind of start slacking off for a few years, and now you're trying to come back, which is so common in the psychic realm. I see that happening so many times. Oh my goodness, a hawk just flew by as if to make the point. He was big, like this big. Oh my goodness. Greetings, sister, brother. So, yes, energy can come too quickly in, okay? I don't want you to worry about that. I don't want you to be paranoid. That's not a good energy to come from. But just be aware that you want to work gradually. And that's why I'm saying, don't meditate on the dark blue or the purple. In other words, the third eye or the crown. Don't only meditate on those for more than 7 days straight. Bring in some of the other energies too. And that will be a nice, gradual, energetic awakening for you. So good luck on your journey. I hope you've enjoyed this video series, and feel free to comment below and share what you've learned in the series and your favorite part, maybe what you're looking forward to implementing, what you have implemented, and what has happened for you on your interesting adventure. Until we meet again, bright blessings, dear one.